Hey everybody, this is Glenn with Pure Pursuit Automotive. This will be the features walkthrough followed by test drive of this 2013 BMW M5, 12,000 miles, black exterior, this ivory white interior, just really great condition throughout, both exterior and interior. A lot of features in this car, so we're going to walk you through these and hit the road. So starting with the comfort access that BMW calls it, the keyless start-stop button. We go and fire it up. We can watch those lights go through their self-leveling process and the aluminum on the front of our garage there. And the car goes and fires up. I'm going to put my seatbelt on and walk you through a lot of these features. So again, we did look at the lights there. Those are the active cornering. You can turn the wheel and see those actually, the reflection there, active corner. And starting on the top, I want to show this center channel speaker and the Bang & Olufsen, stereo that this thing has. If you do fire it up, that center speaker goes in and automatically raises. Kind of a cool feature. I'll turn it off for now. The stereo is one of the best I've ever heard. Bang & Olufsen does a great job on these upgraded stereos for this particular car. Okay, moving through to our center control panel. A lot of information here, but again, BMW has really stuck with those analog gauges. Makes it pretty easy. We have our parking brake, temperature, all that kind of stuff. But more importantly, as we go through both the features and the test drive, I want to point out the different modes that the car is in. The efficiency for the power output of the engine. Comfort, that's a little idea for, that's a little symbol that is for shocks. Then we have the actual steering feedback. And then we also have one final thing that is basically the throttle response, and that's also tied to this little efficiency right there. So with any M vehicle, you sort of have the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You have the daily driver, luxury sports sedan, executive sports sedan. Then you really can turn it into the track machine in the M5 level and M3 level and M6 by hitting this M button. So you have different, in the latest iteration, you have this M1, and you have a lot of different settings that can change over. So I've programmed the car. When we get to the M setting, we'll do that on the test drive. I'll kind of walk you through now because there's a lot that goes on with this particular car because it has so many options on it. So the first thing I want to point out was the HUD. While we're not driving here, move through, and it's kind of hard to see, but you'll probably be able to see a slight 0 right there for miles an hour. And I'll kind of move it so you might be able to see it. And then we can change that into M mode. We can see what the HUD looks like. Changes the way the HUD looks, and while we drive, we're seeing now the miles per hour, the shift lights, as well as the RPM, the tachometer. Okay, so automatics over here, our HUD controls over here, so our heads-up display and or our HUD. Great feature on this particular car. I love a car with a heads-up display. We'll walk through that a little bit more on the drive and walk through some of the steering wheel controls. So that's how we get in and out of M mode. We have M1 and M2, so if you are someone lucky to have a partner that drives with this car and wants a different level of M, whether it's shocks, suspension, engine output, you can do that as well. Nice feature on that. Rolling through a lot of different modes in the car. This is just your standard, hey, you go through your HD radio, your satellite radio, your hard drive, your Bluetooth streaming, a lot of different options with radio, your CD, your DVD, and again, a lot of that's loaded in here for your different selections as well as your CD changer. Bluetooth phone controls right here. Gotta love the M steering wheels, nice in-stitching, just a great feel coming through the paddle shifters as well. When we're in normal mode in the D, it'll shift on its own with its DCT, and when we're in the M mode or the sport mode, we'll be able to shift on the paddle shifters. I'll demonstrate that. Okay, coming through our main display, nice widescreen display. BMW really does that well. We'll go to the main menu and I'll walk you through some of the things that the car has on it. So under multimedia, who doesn't love Billy Idol? Okay, so we have our multimedia, basically our hard drive music collection. That's on a hard drive. We can hook up our iPod, we can change the tone, and finally CD, DVD. Okay, going through radio, a couple different radio options with our FM, AM, satellite radio. Moving through to telephone, again, all the things that you kind of expect. You'd be able to pair your phone with the Bluetooth. You can have your phone talk over the speakers and also have your audio streaming if you have Pandora or something like that on the go. Okay, so again, you can dial from here, voice recognition as well. Okay, navigation, just standard navigation at this point for BMW. They do one of the best navigations, in my opinion, in the business. This looks a lot more like a Google Earth setup than an actual just navigation that we've seen in previous generations. And Office, you can take the phone contacts off of your phone. That is, you can take notes. A couple different features with the Office makes it a little nice. Connected drive. So you have your roadside assistance, your customer relations, BMW apps as well on this particular car to pair with your phone, make it a little easier to navigate around here. Vehicle info, let's roll through this. So tire pressure monitor will make sure that the vehicle status is showing that everything is okay. Everything checks out there. Engine oil level's good. Back to settings here. So on my M Drive 1 I've configured, so I'll walk through some of this stuff before we get on the road, because again, it can be confusing. So our dynamic speed control, or M dynamic mode, as BMW calls it, is on. So we're gonna basically have a little more tame. We're not gonna let the rear end kick out a little bit on that rear differential, rear wheel drive, kind of live a bit more tame. Sport Plus for both the engine and the throttle response. That's actually the way the car responds to the throttle blitz. Pretty incredible. Sport Plus on our shock settings. Sport Plus on our steering wheel feedback. Then finally S1 is this is the way the transmission shifts, and it measures the shift of the firmness of the shift as well as the speed of the shift. And also you can have it start in gear 1, gear 2. And this car, of course, is equipped with launch control. You know, we don't recommend the use of launch control. We're not going to demonstrate it, but you know, the new owner can certainly use that. And it's a little bit complex to get into, just like BMW likes to make it, so you don't accidentally get into it. Okay, moving through. Let's see. So again, here, you know, pretty standard panel right here. We do have both cooled and heated seats, so I wanted to show those off, as well as our standard at this point on a car like this, automatic and dual control air conditioning. Coming through, here's your actual shifter itself. And then here's how you turn off M dynamic mode, or your traction control, and you can change your different shock settings, throttle response settings, steering settings, and transmission settings, and your Parktronic front and rear, as well as your backup cam, so you can see that on the display. And then your iDrive controller right here is great, and everything else just in great condition. Cup holders. I think that's probably enough on the features. You can scroll back and show the rear controls back there. Again, rear heated seats, dual zone controls back here for the rear. And for disclosure, a slight tiny nick in the leather right here. We will consider repairing that. And going up top for your moonroof here, great headliner, Alcantara suede on the headliner, and your great sunroof and or moonroof opening up here, your controls. And that's all I got. Let's go ahead and hit the road.